thank you guys for having me. I'm really excited to be here. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes.
Good deal. So I'm going to share a PowerPoint and then I'll walk you through how to make it easy to see so that you don't have to see me super small. So most of you probably see me now really small on the right hand side of your screen and then my PowerPoint super big. If you take your finger or your mouse and put it right on the line in between my face and the PowerPoint, you should have a little bar that comes up that you can click on and slide it side to side so that you can make my PowerPoint smaller and my face bigger. Awesome. And if you guys have cameras and you want to go ahead and turn on cameras so that we can practice together with our signing, that would be fantastic as well. I see some fantastic faces already. Hi, Dennis. And I see Benita, Jervis, Bob, David, Danny. Hi, Danny. I was trying to figure out where your first name ended and your last name began. Awesome. Okay, so I'll go ahead while you guys are getting cameras set up and give you guys just a little bit of introduction here. So Yael gave a very good introduction of who I am. I am an American Sign Language teacher at the Pembroke Pines Charter High School. I do really enjoy teaching. I actually am also a student right now. I'm in graduate school and I am taking my classes to be certified at the college level to teach sign language interpreters. I am a certified and licensed American Sign Language interpreter and I've been working since 2013. So whatever math that is, 9 years or so, 8 years, 9 years as an American Sign Language interpreter. And I did work in the deaf community prior to that as a psychiatric technician in the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Psychiatric Hospital, which is a part of the old state hospital or rehabilitation center in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm originally from the St. Louis area. We moved here about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, somewhere in that range, to relocate for my husband's work. So I came down here and I started teaching. I am a mother to 3 children and 3 dog children or fur babies, plus a number of other kids we have fostered over the years. In Illinois, where we were from, we fostered a lot of kids. So I'm a mom to 3 plus, total of about 10. And in my spare time, which hasn't happened too often lately, I actually fight judo. So that's what I do when I have free time. After grad school, I will be back. That's a lot of school. So, and to give you guys a little bit of an introduction to what American Sign Language is, I first asked, has anyone ever learned any sign language or known any bits of sign language? Dennis, Yael? Awesome. Good deal. Have anyone ever met anyone who is deaf or hard of hearing who uses American Sign Language? Fantastic. Dennis and Danny, David, Jervis, perfect. Good deal. And Benita, good. Awesome. Hi, Peggy and hi, Bruce. It's so good to see you guys. I know you're trying to get your cameras set up. So American Sign Language, to give you just a little bit of background, is the language of deaf Americans. Originally, we had a school in Connecticut that was set up way back in the 1800s. We had a gentleman by the name of Monsieur Clark, who came here from France and started teaching deaf children in America in our very first American school for the deaf in Connecticut. And he brought with him French Sign Language, and it came here. It started to integrate with the sign language that was already being used in homes of deaf children. There is no formal sign language yet, but it was something that, kids from all areas of the country or the small part of the country that was set up at the time all came together and they started mixing the French Sign Language with the signs that they had created at home for use with their family. And after a few hundred years, a short 200 years, we have American Sign Language, which is very similar to French Sign Language, but in its own right, its own language. And while the deaf community uses it, it's also used by people with autism, apraxia of speech, which is a situation where your vocal cords work, but you're incapable of speech because of an issue with your brain. Not necessarily that you have anything wrong with you mentally, just that your brain is not making the connection with your vocal cords. Cerebral palsy and Down syndrome. So there's lots of different people who use American Sign Language in a variety of capacities. Some people use it exclusively, they choose not to use their voice or they're unable to use their voice. And some people use it in part with speech and in combination with a couple of other ways of communicating. American Sign Language is used, of course, here in the United States, but it's also really widespread in Canada. It's the majority signed language in the Philippines, where my husband is from. And several of the smaller countries across Africa actually use American Sign Language as well, mostly because people with missionary groups have gone from America to found deaf schools in smaller countries around Africa, and it has kind of spread from there and developed its own flavor, its own, I guess, what is the word I'm looking for? Its own pedagogy, its own form, in the same way that American Sign Language first came from French, and now it's changed to match the place where we live. And in the same way, in the Philippines and places across Africa, we also have some changes there as well. That's a great question. Jerry's asked if it's also used in Mexico, and that's actually my next point there. It's not used in Mexico. Mexico has its own sign language, Mexican Sign Language. American Sign Language, or sign language in general, is not universal, believe it or not. It's hard to count signed languages because there are some people who say, well, American Sign Language and Filipino Sign Language, which is technically the same sign language. And when I go to the Philippines, I can understand people and they can understand me, but there's definitely some differences. We have to ask, are those two different sign languages or are they the same sign language? So when we start counting the number of sign languages around the world, it gets a little sticky in those areas. But we do know that there's between 138 and 300, depending on how you count them, signed languages all over the world. Just in the same way that we speak a number of different verbal languages around the world, there's a number of different signed languages around the world. Do any of you guys speak a language other than English? Jerice? Fantastic. What do you speak?
I speak German and
German.
some Spanish, French.
Nice, very nice. My husband actually speaks some German, which is interesting because he was born in the Philippines, but then he was raised for most of his childhood in Germany. So he's got an interesting mix. Back up. Does anyone have any questions before we dive into the hands up portion of our learning today? And again, I'm sorry, my camera's here and your faces are over here, so I'm just double checking to see if I spot any questions. Awesome. So if you guys are able, I'll ask you to go ahead and turn on your cameras and adjust them just so that I can see kind of like from the top of your head to about your belly button. And that way I can see your hands pretty easily and I can help you change the way you're signing if we need any help. So I'll let you guys get comfortable and adjusted there. I know sometimes it's really weird to be on camera and it's uncomfortable. I would definitely love to be able to help you guys sign the best of to the best of your ability. Fantastic. I see some more new faces. So good. Good. Awesome. Here we go. I'll give everyone just another second to get themselves all set up. And this picture is a little on the fuzzy side. It's not my favorite, but it kind of gives you the idea. But I'm going to be signing along with you, so you don't have to worry too much about looking at this picture. If you ever want to review what we call the manual alphabet, you can always easily look it up online. Just make sure you're looking at the American Sign Language manual alphabet, or it's sometimes called finger spelling. Actually, more often than not, it's called finger spelling. But I think most of the world knows it as manual alphabet. So Let's go ahead and practice together. A quick question, is anyone left-handed? Got some left-handers? So this is my left hand, if you want to keep an eye here. And who is right-handed? Fantastic. This is my right hand. So my left-handers, you'll want to keep an eye on this hand. You're my right-handers, you'll want to keep an eye on this hand. And that way you got a feel for which direction you're supposed to be moving your hands. Are you ready? All right. A, B, C, D. Good. So with D, we have just our pointer fingers pointing to the sky. And if you turn your hand to the side, it looks like the letter D in print. Although I guess it could be in cursive, sort of. E, go ahead and let your fingers rest on top of your thumb. Good. F, your pointer finger and your thumb are coming together here. Good. G, and if any of these are uncomfortable, just do the best that you can. Sign language should never hurt. H, I, J, so you're going to scoop in towards your body. J, good. K, good. This one's like peace sign, and then put your thumb in between. Again, just as comfortable as it can be for you. Don't stretch anything that feels uncomfortable. And I say that to all students, even for myself. Sometimes my fingers are like, ugh, I don't want to do that. So let your hands relax. L, which looks like an L. M, so it's like the letter M on your fingers. M with 3 fingers. N like Nancy with 2 fingers, so it's like a 1 hump letter. O, which is pretty straightforward. It's warm in here. P, which is the letter K, but like upside down. So you can make your letter K again or your peace sign and then just bloop, upside down. Good. Q, which was just like your letter G, but just let it fall down. Q. Good. R, cross your fingers. S, cross your thumb in front of your fist this time. Our letter A comes out here to the side, which if you think about writing the letter A and having kind of like the little tail that goes on the A, and now we're writing the S, which is curve over. T, 1 finger in between. So we'll take our thumbs and we'll put it right in between those first 2 fingers. T, good job. U, V, which is pretty straightforward. W, which looks like a W. X is a funny one. Make a hook like your Captain Hook now. Y, which looks like the letter Y, here and here. And Z, you just draw a Z in the air with your finger. That one's got to be the easiest of all. I'm going to turn my fan back on because it's about 100,000 degrees outside. There we go. And this room gets a little toasty. Okay. How are we feeling so far? Can you shake it out just a little bit? Okay. Let's do those one more time. And then I'm going to help you guys practice spelling your names. So this is probably the most labor-intensive part of everything you'll learn today is just kind of getting these letters down pat. They're definitely challenging, but they'll help you do things like tell people your name, tell people where you are from, and pretty much tell any proper noun that you need to say. In American Sign Language, most of the time we use finger spelling for things like proper nouns. So it's names of people and places or things like Kleenex or Lysol. We've seen that name a lot in the last year or so, right? And so the finger spelling comes in handy when you want to talk with people and tell them all about who you are and where you're from, which is what we're going to be doing today. So let's go through it one more time, and then I'll help you guys work on your names. We'll practice each other's names together. So we have A, B, C, D, point your finger up. That one's hard. E, F, G, good. H, yep, that one's just two fingers kind of turned on its side. Good. I, J, draw the letter J in the air with your pinky fingers. J, K, L, M, N. And for these ones, try to relax your hands so you don't squeeze too tight. They're just really relaxed, flopped over on top of your fingers. M and N. We never want sign language to hurt. O, P. You guys are doing awesome. Q, that's our G upside down. R, S, T, U, V, good, W, X, Y, and Z. Fantastic. Let's practice spelling some of our names together. So I'm just going to go in order of who I see on the screen. I see Dennis first. So D with our pointer finger up. And if you look to the side, you should be able to see your letter D there in print. I don't know if anybody writes in print. I still write in cursive, and my kids are like, Mom, I can't read your handwriting. I'm like, I don't know, learn. I'm kind of mean to my kids. D, E, N, good, Dennis. I, S. Awesome. One more time for Dennis. D, E, N. I'm going to just lift that up. N, I, S. You got it, David. Good. And then I. A pinky finger can be hard. Yes, good. And then cross-eyed over for S. Beautiful. You've got it. Let's do Benita. B, E, N, I, T, A. Fantastic. And one more time for Benita. I'm just going to switch hands. B, E, N, I, T, it's okay. Right here in between those first two fingers, if you can fit your thumb in there. That's it. You've got it. And then A. We'll bring our thumb out to the side. Beautiful. Good job. And I see Jerice next. Am I saying your name right? Awesome. Okay. J, E, R, I, S, E. And once more for Jerice. J, E R I S E. Fantastic. And we'll do just a few more here. David, D A V I D. Awesome. And one more time for David. D A V I D. And then I see Bruce. We'll do Bruce. B R U C E. And once more for Bruce. B R U C E. Awesome. We'll finish up with Yael, and that way we'll be able to move along. Y A E L. And again. Y A E L. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Very good. I'll do Bob's just because I think his name is super easy. Bob. B-O-B. Bob. I like spelling Bob. B-O-B. B-O-B. Awesome. Bob, if you have a camera and you want to join in with us, that would be fantastic. If not, I totally understand. Just makes it a little bit easier for us to all practice together. So, any questions so far? Hi, Bob. Great to see you. Same thing, Phyllis and Jane and Jamie and Sandra. You guys are totally welcome to join us on camera and practice along. Pretty soon we'll be working with partners just to kind of give each other a chance to sign to one another, and that'll be super easy to see each other on camera and work together. I really wish we could all be together in person. It makes it so much more comfortable, but we're going to do the best that we can with what we have. Double checking, any questions for anyone so far?
I have a question.
Absolutely.
When we're doing my name, I don't see the sign anymore with the fingers on it. How are we going to do that if we only?
Great question. So when we get to the time where we're going to practice, I can put this back up on the screen so you guys can look at it again. Good question though. Absolutely. Very good question. Okay. So we've got a couple of phrases we're going to run through. Let me get my little pointer. 1 second here. There it is. Okay. So let's start with hello. Super easy. You could either do a tap, tap, tap on your head or just one-handed wave. So we'll tap, 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 or a one-handed wave. This one's totally comfortable. And now we're going to tell each other what our names are. My name. So my, just press your hand to your chest. My. 2 letter H's. Tap, tap. Name. Tap, tap. My name. And then here's where we'll spell. So I'll do Phyllis this time. P H Y L L I S. Let's practice that together, but you spell your own name this time. Let me go back. So my name. Good. And let me see you spell your names. Nice. Great job, Dennis. Good job, Benita and Jerice. And Bob, B-O-B. Perfect. Bob, there you go. You can turn your palm forward. Good job. Just like that. Good, good. Good job, David. You're getting it. Awesome. Bruce, I think you're there. I just can't see your hands. I'm sorry. Good, good. Nice job. And Benita, I saw your hands too. Good job, guys. Okay, so now we'll switch back over. And so in parentheses here, I just have the English written underneath so that we can see that in ASL, sometimes we throw little words out. It's the same in other languages. English and English, Spanish, French, trying to think of some other Romance languages. They're all pretty similar, although English is this weird mixture of what we call Romance languages like French and Spanish and Germanic languages like German. And sometimes when we see new languages, it's not a word for word translation. In fact, most of the time, there's little things in there that we're not going to see. For example, in American Sign Language, we don't sign is. So we'll just say my name, and then if you need to say in your head is, J-E-N-N, and you can spell. The same thing here. Sometimes in other languages, we have words that are in slightly different orders from what we're used to in English. Instead of saying, what is your name? In American Sign Language, we'll say, your name, what? And if you've ever listened to other people speak in other languages, or if you speak another language, you may have heard little changes in the way the voice sounds that tells you when a question is happening, even if you don't understand what the language is saying. You've heard it in English before. What is your name? Where my voice goes up. But in American Sign Language, we don't have any vocal inflection to tell us that we're asking a question. So it happens right here in your eyebrows. I'll take my glasses off so you can see it better. My puppy is under the desk. She lives on my feet, so try not to smush her. Your name, what? Can you see my eyebrows scrunched down? Yeah, that's a tough one to use, but that's where we're showing that we're asking a question. So we'll try it. Don't panic if it's hard because our eyebrows aren't used to getting such a workout. So once more, your name, what? Good deal. And then we'd say my name is, I'll do Jane. Good deal, guys. Good. Bob, David, you're getting it. You're getting it, though. Baby steps. It's looking good. I like it. Good job, Bob. Good job, Jerice. Yes, Dennis. It's a good question. This is what is an older sign, and you can use it. Your name, what? I often use what. I'm a little bit older. The new generation of people in the deaf community sign what, but we can definitely sign what. If that's what you're comfortable with and you've learned in the past, roll with it. Perfect. Just in the same way that I'm sure when you've spoken to younger people, maybe grandchildren even, and they tell you things and you're like, I think you're speaking English, but I don't know what you're saying, because the younger and younger generations come up with new ways of saying things. And teaching high school, I hear lots of new things. American Sign Language has the same thing. Dennis was asking about the sign what. It used to be what. And some people still sign what. Either one is totally fine. Any other questions so far? Good deal. Nice to meet you. Nice. Meet you. For meet, we're going to make two little stick figure finger people, and they're going to come together like they're coming in for a hug, you know, pre-quarantine. Nice to meet you. Good, you guys got this, easy peasy. And then when someone wants to say, oh, it's nice to meet you too, or it's nice to meet you as well, we use this sign. It means same or two, like T-O-O. So nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you too. Fantastic, guys. You got it. Okay, let's run through these one more time. So we'll say hello. My name, and this time I'll do Jamie, but you guys can spell your own name. Good. Your name is what? It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Perfect. Last time, but with a challenge. In American Sign Language, there's no verbal portion. It's a totally visual language. There's no sounds, there's no speech. Although some people do use American Sign Language and choose to use their voice to speak the verbal language that they are raised in. Generally speaking, American Sign Language is its own language without any sound. So I'm going to do it again. I'll keep my cursor where we're at, but you follow along. Ready? Nice job, guys. Thank you, Bruce. All right. Questions so far on our introductions? You guys are doing a wonderful job. Yael, is there a certain time that we need to end by? I just want to double check that we don't go over or under.
I figured that I had you for an hour, but how long did you want to go for?
No, I think about an hour is good. I planned for about an hour of instruction, so I just wanted to double check because I realized I hadn't asked you.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Awesome. Okay. So now we'll add in some polite phrases. So when we meet someone for the first time, or when we meet someone for the first time that day, we would ask, "How are you?" Or if this is more comfortable, "How are you?" So I'll show you those two options again. Either make two fists and twist, how, or can line your fingers up together, bring them in close to you, and then let them fall out. How are you? Either one is fine. One is one is used more often. I see it on the West Coast, and one is used more often on the East Coast. So how or how. Either one is totally okay. So once more, you'll see there's no R. We throw that right out. Doesn't exist in American Sign Language. ASL is very to the point, and how you adds all the information we need to know without adding any additional extra to be verbs like are, if anybody's really interested in how languages work. So how you? And most of the time we'll say, I'm fine. So we'll take our thumb and we'll tap, tap gently against your chest. I'm fine. I'm fine. And your facial expression, good facial expressions, Dennis. Your facial expression will tell how fine you are. Oh, I'm fine. Or, I'm all right, I guess. Or, I'm fine. Like, I'm not really fine, but I do not want to talk about it right now. Fine. Good. Good job. please. You probably see that all the little ones use this now, the babies, please. And thank you, which you can do with either one hand or two hands, whichever one you feel more comfortable using. All the way to your chin. And thank you. Thank you. When someone says thank you in English, most of the time the other person says, oh, you're welcome, or it's not a problem. In American Sign Language, we say, it's fine. Tap, tap. Tap, tap, all the way against your chest. So your thumb will come all the way in and touch. Tap, tap. Good. So, oh, thank you. It's fine. Kind of like in English, like when we say, oh, not a problem. All the way into the chest. Tap, tap, just very gently. Again, sign language should never hurt, so don't stab yourself. All right, let's do these one more time. You guys are doing an amazing job. How are you? Good. I'm fine. Good. Great facial expression, Bob. Please. And thank you from the chin. Thank you. Thank you. You notice I'm pointing out a couple of people with really good facial expressions that I'm just happened to spot out of the corner of my eye. You guys, if you're listening so far, American Sign Language grammar and the vocal intonation that we're used to hearing in sign language happens right here on your face. So those additional natural body movements that we do whenever we're talking, those plus your eyebrow movements and just your general facial expressions all come together to make up the grammar of the American Sign Language. Super cool. Super cool. Okay, one more time, but voice off. Good, awesome job. And please is another one that comes all the way against the chest. Sometimes when we're first learning American Sign Language, it can be awkward because you're not used to putting your hands on yourself as often as we do in American Sign Language. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys to practice. And how we will do this is I will, let's see here. Let's see. Do you guys know how to use the breakout rooms? Have you ever used those before? Sort of. A couple people are like, yeah, a couple people know. Okay, so I'll walk you through it, not a problem. So what I'll do is I'm going to put you guys in random breakout rooms, and I'll kind of jump from breakout room to breakout room. And what a breakout room is on Zoom is it's kind of like being able to partner off with somebody when you're in person, but you're in your own little personal video chat. So you won't see all of us anymore. You'll just see the person you're partnered with. And I'll ask you just to practice these simple phrases, asking each other's names and then saying that it's nice to meet you. So let's practice it all together, and then we'll go into breakout rooms. And I will copy this and I will send it to you in the chat. Do you guys know where your chat function is on Zoom? Let me pull this up. Make sure I'm sending it to everyone. And those of you, if you haven't joined us on camera yet and you're able to, that would be wonderful. So when you switch over to the breakout rooms, you'll still be able to see the chat box. And if you haven't seen it yet, although it should be somewhere popping up with like a little flash of either the words or like a little red button that says 1, it's generally at the bottom of your screen. There's like a little speech bubble, cartoon speech bubble that you can click on and it'll bring up the chat. So just give me a thumbs up if you see the same phrase that's on my screen in your little white chat box. Okay. Good, 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 good. Bob, are you able to see it? Unfortunately, I can't hear you. Here, that should give you a little button to click on to unmute.
Yeah, I've got the chat box on the right side of my page or my screen.
Perfect. Okay, that's fantastic. That way everybody can see what I'm going to ask you to sign when you go into your breakout room. So just leave your little chat box sitting there while we practice. And then once you go into your breakout rooms, that's where you'll look to have your little script so you can practice. So let's do this together, and I will turn my voice off. I mistyped there. And then person number 2 will say, I'll do Liz. Person number 1 will say, and person number 2 will say, fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my PowerPoint. It's going to bring us all back together. And then I am going to see, uh-oh, you know what? Unfortunately, I don't have an option to send you guys to breakout rooms, but that is not a problem because we can fix this. So what I'm going to do is I will remove the spotlight. Do you guys see everybody or just me? Who sees everybody? Everybody. Okay. Who sees just me? Bruce, are you able to see everybody on the screen? Fantastic. Bob, are you able to see everybody on the screen? You can give me either a thumbs up or a thumbs down is totally fine. Awesome. Dennis, thank you. No? Okay, Bob. All the way up in the right top corner of your screen, do you see a little box with some dots in it?
Probably muted me because there's a lawn keeper right outside my window trimming hedges, and I hear the noise myself.
That's okay. Are you able to, you said you can't see everyone on the screen, just me?
No, I can, you're big, but I can see a little Benita and Yael and Dennis.
Okay.
And myself.
Fantastic. Up in the top right-hand corner, do you see that little box with a couple of dots in it?
Yeah, and it says view.
Yeah, can you click on that? Does it say gallery view? Or can you?
Yes, it does. It says gallery view.
Awesome. If you can click on gallery view, that will let you hopefully see everybody.
Now I'm seeing, I see 7 people.
Fantastic.
And some names without pictures.
Perfect. Then you're in the right spot. Good deal. Okay. Just a quick question, Liz and Phyllis and and Mr. or Ms. McQueen, if you guys have cameras and want to join us, that would be fantastic. If not, I totally understand. I'm going to ask you guys to pick a partner, and I'll actually just go ahead and partner you off for you if you don't mind, just in the interest of time. Dennis and Bruce, if you'll work together. Benita and Jerice, if you'll work together. And Bob and Yael, if you'll work together. If you want to see each other bigger, you can take your mouse and put it over top their face, or if you're on an iPad, you can touch their face, and it should give you the option to pin, P-I-N, pin them. That will make them bigger. So go ahead and let's practice with your partner. We'll turn off our voices, and Dennis, Bob, and Jerice, you'll start, and then Bruce, Yael, and Benita, you guys will be saying what's in the parentheses this time, and then we'll switch. So go right ahead.
You got a lot of vowels in your name.
Good job, guys.
Am I supposed to say what's your name now?
Yep. Do you see in the chat where the words in parentheses, the phrases in parentheses will be yours the first time around?
Okay, so Bob said, hello, what's your name? I responded.
And then ask, what is your name? So
Okay,
name, what?
I forgot how to say what.
Either shake your hands back and forth or kind of strike your palm with your finger.
Okay.
Either one. Good. If you have not already, go ahead and switch roles. So if you took the words in parentheses last time, you'll start this time by saying, hello, you are named.
I forgot nice.
Nice. Nice. Good.
How do
Fantastic.
you do also too?
Oh, so I have to start from the beginning now, right?
Yes, you'll start from the beginning. Okay.
I always forget how to say, how do you say what? I keep forgetting what.
What? Or you can strike your palm with your finger. What? Lighting in here is weird without my ring light. My husband walked off with this morning. I'll have to get him his own. Good job. Whoop.
You're doing a good job, Dennis. I'm completely lost.
You guys are all doing really well. It's hard stuff. Research shows us that learning a new language takes some serious elasticity in our brains. And the older we get, even as old as like 11 and 12 years old, the harder it becomes to learn a brand new language. So you guys are doing an amazing job. Your brains are working hard. Nice.
I think we did it.
Awesome job, guys. Hey, hey. I didn't ask for your opinion, did I? No. Zeus? Thank you.
Jennifer,
Yeah, Phyllis.
can we print the symbols that correspond to the letters?
Absolutely, yeah. Let me pull that back up for you.
Because then we'll study and do. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and open up the screen share again. So it's going to shift your screen around. Here we go. Good job, guys. That's it, Bruce. You got it. E, R, U, C, and then E. You got it. Fantastic. Good job.
Much harder than it looks.
It is. It can be for sure, but you guys are all doing a wonderful job. I'm so proud of you. You pick up way faster than some of my high school students. Like teach the same thing several days in a row sometimes. That's okay. Fantastic. I will give everyone just one more second here to finish up their introductions. We'll move on to some new vocabulary. Thank you. Awesome. Good, good. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and shift forward into a new set of vocabulary. I'm going to spotlight my face real quick, so it might take away your partner. Might have to have Dennis teach us one. He's got it. Alrighty. And actually, you know what I'll do? There we go. Can everybody see both me and Dennis and the PowerPoint all at once? Because it's more than both.
Mhm.
Awesome. Okay, so now you can, I'll pick on Dennis a little bit because I see he knows this list, and that is fantastic, or at least knows most of them from what I caught.
We don't
All
see
right.
Dennis.
You
We just
cannot see Dennis. Okay. Let me see what I did here. And let's try just Dennis. Okay, can you guys see Dennis now?
yes.
All right, Dennis, we'll let you take it away. Do you have sorry?
Sorry.
Good, awesome. So a fist and round on your chest, just like please, but with a closed hand this time. Amazing. I don't understand, or I not understand. Good. So you either can take your thumb and bring it off the bottom of your chin and then flick your index finger upward. Good, awesome, Dennis. Thank you for doing that nice and slow. Or you can simply flick your index finger up and down and shake your head side to side to say no. Either one is perfectly fine. I don't understand. And make sure your face matches that. I don't understand. Good, good. If you can show us repeat, please. That one you don't know? That's okay. That's okay. So we'll take our, let me switch spotlights real quick. I love having co-teachers. Thank you so much, Dennis. So repeat. Repeat. That's okay. Coming back to you, huh? Please. Good. Repeat. Please. Awesome. Slow down. Please. Good. Slow down. Please. Thank you. I understand. And you can just flick that finger up, up, and nod your head. I understand. Or you can point to yourself. I understand. The same way, if any of you guys ever have learned or grew up speaking Spanish, where they don't always use the pronoun like I, you, me, yo, tú, su, doesn't always show up before the next word. Like yo tengo means I have, but I can just say tengo. So either I understand, or I should have said entiendo for understand. So either I understand, yo entiendo, or I understand, entiendo. So we can take off that first part. We can throw out the I understand. That was a helpful explanation. I hope if you speak any Spanish. If not, you can forget that I said it. Let's go through these one more time. Sorry. I don't understand. Good, and go ahead and make sure your palm is facing away so that I see the back of your hand. So if you'll show me the back of your hand. Very good. And Bob, if you'll turn that hand around for me. Perfect. I don't understand. We use this one a lot when we first start to learn a language. Repeat, please. Good. Repeat, please. Slow down. Slow down, please. Good. And thank you. I understand. Awesome job, guys. Okay, one more time, voice off. Good. And the last one. You guys are fantastic students. Good deal. Here's some words to ask for help. And we're just pointing to ourselves, I need, we're gonna make a hook like an X out of our finger, need help. Help. Think about this as, go ahead and make a fist. Go ahead and make a fist. And then tap, tap, help, help. Think of this like, you know, when people are trying to be super helpful and they like take you by the elbow, even though I don't know how that's exactly helpful, because the last time someone took me by the elbow, they knocked me over. But when people want to help you, they kind of assist you by the elbow. That's what this is, like supporting your elbow. Help. So one more time, I need help. Good. Now we get into the grammar a little bit. Help me, please. So just take that sign for help, like we've got it sitting on the hand, and pull it in. Help me, please. Help me, please. Can I help you? Can I help you? Good. So help, help me, help you. Good. This question is asking people, what do you need me to help you with? Help, need, what? Or help, need, what? What? Good. Let's go through these one more time. I need help. Help me, please. Good job, guys. Can I help you? And you'll see my eyebrows go up. That's a yes or no kind of question. Help you. Good. Good eyebrows, Bob. Good eyebrows. Help. Need what? And our eyebrows go down. Good eyebrows, guys. Jerice, good eyebrows. Bruce, good eyebrows. Nice, guys. Good job, Dennis. Good. Or what? Either one is totally fine. What? What? All right, one more time, voice off. Good. Let's go back to our last slide. I want to practice this last 2 sets of vocab all together. Good. And this set one more time. Good. Nice job, guys. Okay. Let me see. So I'm gonna ask you guys to practice. Actually, let me pause real quick because I want to see. So I have a little bit more to go. So it's up to you guys. Since we're about at 1 hour, we can either pause here because I've thrown a lot at you, or if everyone's in agreement, including Miss Yael, we can keep going. Who would like to go ahead and pause here? My brain is full. That's totally okay. Okay, I think that's most of you guys, and that's totally fine because again, I threw a lot of new information out there. So instead, I'll pause here and ask, first of all, amazing job. You guys learned so much in the last hour. You can tell people your name. You can ask for help. You can ask for their name and ask how they're doing, which is a lot. Plus, you learned how to spell in a totally different language, in a totally different spelling and letter system. So give yourselves a round of applause. Yes, awesome. What questions can I answer for you guys?
Shin, when you're saying thank you, does it matter? I'm confused. Which hand needs to be on your chin?
Great question. Generally, whichever hand is the one that you write with, your dominant hand.
Okay.
Thank you. And again, one hand is fine, 2 hands is fine, whatever is more comfortable. Sometimes if I'm drinking with this hand, I might sign. ASL is cool because you can still talk with your mouth full.
Hand is just kind of your knuckles facing down. Your fingers have to be in a particular way, or you just okay.
Just kind of like a fist. So like a relaxed fist can. It's a double yes. So yes in American Sign Language. Yes. Double yes. Can. Good. That's another one of those words that we can actually throw out when asking that phrase, though. I help you is a question in and of itself, even without the can. So if can is hard, that's okay. You don't have to have it. Does anyone else have questions I can answer for you guys?
Do you actively work still as an interpreter? I mean, how do you balance that with school?
That's a really good question. So during the summertime and during the times where the school is on break, I work as a sign language interpreter. Sometimes I work out in the community, so I'm going to people's job interviews or job trainings, their doctor's appointments, their therapist appointments. I go to jails and do intake and classes and that kind of thing. I go to schools. When school is in session, I generally go and interpret on the weekends, and I do video relay interpreting, or VRS. And that's essentially like this. That's why I have this nice big background here where I can either do video relay interpreting from my computer here at home, or I can go into my interpreting center, and I generally interpret phone calls. So say a person who's deaf wants to call their doctor, order pizza, chat with their neighbor, they make the phone call, I do the interpreting. So that's what I generally do during the school year, just because it's easier and I can quickly and easily set my schedule. So like every Saturday morning, I know exactly where I'm at. But then during the summertime, I do a lot more of the variety of community outreach kind of jobs that I enjoy those. It's a lot of fun.
How long would it take to become fluent, do you think?
That's a really good question. So that is a fluency is something that varies from person to person. Some people's brains are inherently wired for math. Some people's brains are inherently wired for language. I have the kind of brain that is wired for language. I do not have the kind of brain that is wired for math. Don't ask me, I won't know. So it depends. But generally speaking, if you are intentionally studying a language, let's say you go to school for to study to become a sign language interpreter, 6 to 10 years before you're achieving complete fluency. Generally speaking, about 6 years before you're fluent enough to start doing some basic interpreting. And I mean, conversationally, maybe 3 to 4 years of intentional study, for sure.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
What a skill.
I'm really glad it's put me in contact with a whole other part of the world that I wouldn't have had access to if not for the deaf community that was able to gift me with this language.
There's such a need for it.
There really is. So if y'all are looking for a new career, if you're interested, you were just like, I'm going to go back to school, or you know somebody who's contemplating, what should I go to school for? We are desperate for more sign language interpreters all the time. All the time.
Wow, what a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yale, this is being recorded. How can we get it so that we can practice?
I can get the link out to you. Does everybody on the call want a copy of this? You might have to fast forward the first, it started recording when I opened up the call, which was 15 minutes before we actually got started. And I can certainly ask Thomas in marketing if he can clean that up for me. But if you don't mind it being the rough footage, I can certainly send you the link.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I am so grateful for you guys to having come in and let me teach you. Yes, I would absolutely recommend some starting courses for you guys. There is a website, and you know what, it might just be easier if I share my screen one more time real quick. And I will show you. This website is called lifeprint.com. Wait 1 second to poke some buttons here. Lifeprint.com. It's a little bit overwhelming at first, and I'll show you why. When you first open up the web page, this is super zoomed in, isn't it? Oh no, it's just setting itself. Hold on. Yeah, it takes a couple seconds to load because there's a lot going on this screen. And also my laptop is overworked and underpaid. But this is called lifeprint.com. And like I said, there's a lot going on here, so you have to take a second to look at it. But this gentleman here in the video, he is a teacher of American Sign Language. He's also deaf, and he created this entire website to be a free resource for learning American Sign Language. There's a dictionary over here where you can scroll down a bit and look for a word by letter. You can go through this whole list of videos, which is like 1 million pages long. I do not recommend doing it that way. Or you can come over here and start with the ASL lessons. What is that all about? Come on, computer, what are we doing? the ASL lessons, if you click on lesson number 1, it gives you everything you need to know in super tiny print. So I suggest making the print bigger. You can learn the vocabulary. He gives you some concepts in grammar, gives you some practice things to do. Like I said, it's a little bit hard to read, but it is a free website, and it is very thorough. I know teachers who use this as their curriculum in colleges and in high schools because it's so very thorough. It just can be hard to look at it first. So yeah, I 100%
Wow,
recommend this website.
that's a great resource.
Yes, and the ASL lessons go all the way up to, oh, he has ASL 4 up and running. Yay! This must have been his quarantine project because the last I checked, he was only on ASL 3. So all the way up to ASL 4. So 4 solid classes worth of lessons, 60 different lessons in here. So this is a
Wow.
fantastic resource. Yeah. Tell your friends.
It's amazing that he made that available.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And he does have like there's no paid version of the site. There's nowhere where he's asking for donations. He just created this to get the language out there. He does have a bookstore if you know somebody who has a new baby and send out baby signing to him, but it's not a ton of stuff. Oh, he does have a donation button. But
Oh, wow.
so he also helps out with I think his mission in the beginning was to help with parents of deaf children who didn't know where to go or what to do. You bring home a brand new baby and you're like, I'm not quite sure what to do now because I've never met anyone who's deaf. Most of us, would probably have that experience. And so he created this to start out with, hey, let's give that resource available so parents don't have to panic. And I hadn't seen his donation button before, so there it is. So
It's amazing. Well, I would love to have you back again if you'd be willing to, either by Zoom or in person.
yeah, absolutely. We'll keep in contact because I know school is going to be a funny
Oh
thing.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not going to bother you for a while.
You're welcome to bother me. I don't know how available I might be. I still don't know what's happening with school, and it starts in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Wow.
So I'm just waiting to be told what level of panic to assume. So awesome. Well,
Wow.
thank
I
you,
give you so much credit. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for this. Was really, really great. I would love to have you back again, and
Absolutely.
I'll definitely stay in touch with you. And I wish you so much luck. I hope you have a smooth sailing school year. Fingers crossed for you, because I know what
Thank you.
what the uncertainty, what kind of havoc that wreaks on your ability to do your job. So
It's a little
you're a
stressful.
saint.
I don't know if we've reached that level yet, but it's definitely
I
been a
think so.
challenge for all of us, for all teachers, that none of us really expected, nobody asked for, but we've all grown and learned a lot from it. So that's all we can do, is continue to grow and to learn and do the best with what we have. But
That's what I was saying, and with us as well here at the Village. I mean, I think
Absolutely.
that we've all learned a lot through this whole experience. I had no idea how to Zoom, last, in January, February of 2020. So we've all
Right.
come a long way, I think.
Yes, and you guys were, I think you were set up through the quarantine process to become fantastic students, because you all were wonderful. And I thank you so much for having me. And this has been fun for me. I really loved it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jen. This was so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. Oh, I like
Take care
Judy
of
say
yourself.
thank you.
Thank you.